Unmitigated interruptions can derail your progress toward goals and cost you time, money, and energy. Learning how to manage interruptions effectively as a small business owner or solopreneur can help you maintain focus, get more done, and ultimately experience less stress. Hi, I'm Amy Shield. I'm a time management and productivity coach for small business owners. And today I'm sharing 5 simple ways that you can manage interruptions effectively so that you can get more of the important stuff done in your business. When you're constantly getting interrupted in your business, your time, attention, and energy are getting pulled away from what you originally planned to use them on and directed toward things that may or may not be worth your time and energy. If small business owners and solopreneurs repeatedly give in to interruptions, it can be really easy for them to fall behind in their business. But the thing about interruptions is that most of them are caused by external factors. So, how can you control something that isn't really within your control? The truth is, you can't control every single interruption. What you can do is create systems to anticipate, respond to, and manage interruptions more effectively. You'll have better control of your time, your energy, and your focus as a result. So let's go ahead and dive into 5 simple ways that you can manage interruptions more effectively as a small business owner or solopreneur. One of my favorite strategies to help manage interruptions effectively is to harness the power of planning. You can create a plan to anticipate and mitigate interruptions even if you don't know when or if they're going to happen, which is usually the case when we get interrupted. So first, you can schedule periods of time that I call cleanup blocks on your schedule to deal with interruptions that come up. So you have some time set aside to deal with them and manage them, but you don't feel like you have to drop everything to address them right that second. Another strategy to help manage the effect of interruptions are what I call backup blocks. And backup blocks are a little bit of fail-safe time on your schedule that you can use to finish up any tasks that you didn't get to, or maybe you didn't even get to start because you got interrupted. Another strategy to mitigate the effect of interruptions is what I refer to as cushion time. So cushion time simply means that you schedule yourself a little bit more time than you think you're going to need to complete a task. And this can range anywhere from 25% to 100% more time. Scheduling that little bit of extra cushion time gives you some extra time to get the task completed if there is an interruption that comes up and pulls you temporarily away from what you were working on. Another great strategy to help reduce interruptions from people that you interact with regularly are what I call collaboration blocks. Collaboration blocks are simply periods of time that you set aside on your schedule where other people know that they can come to you with questions, feedback, to kind of brainstorm and put your heads together. So for example, you could have an hour of collaboration time available in the morning and 30 minutes available in the afternoon, or whatever works and makes sense for you and your team and your other stakeholders. Now, of course, there are going to be times when it's necessary to have a conversation with an employee or a contractor or a client outside of your collaboration time. But that collaboration time, which some people also call office hours, gives those people a predetermined block of time on your schedule that they know they can come to you with questions, feedback, etc. Another effective strategy for managing interruptions as a small business owner or solopreneur is to make sure that you're putting up some boundaries around your time and attention. And this includes with your employees or contractors, even clients, your family and friends, the people in your life who want to get a hold of you and want to contact you. It's okay for you to put boundaries on your time and attention. While we can't really control other people, what we can do is make requests. And that's what we're talking about here, making requests of the people in your life to respect your time and attention. That might mean communicating specific times that you're available for general questions or feedback to your clients, your employees, your contractors, friends, and family. It might also mean letting people know when you'll be available and when you'll respond. For example, you might say to a loved one or a close colleague, "Hey, I really want to hear from you. And it's also important that I'm able to focus on my work during the day. Could you please text me for anything that isn't an emergency? I'll check my phone at the top of every hour and get back to you. And if it is an emergency, of course, please give me a call." So see, that's setting a simple boundary around your time and attention while also letting the other person know that you respect and value what they have to say and that you're going to get back to them. Another strategy that you can try as you're working to figure out how to manage interruptions in your business effectively is to assess and make decisions on interruptions as they occur. So, the idea here isn't to drop everything every time you get interrupted to address that interruption. And it's also not the idea to blanket deny every single interruption that might occur, because chances are some of those interruptions are actually going to be worth your time and energy. So, what you want to do is assess each one on an individual basis as they come in. And you can use a tool such as the Eisenhower matrix to make this a little bit easier for you. If you're not familiar with the Eisenhower matrix, it categorizes tasks into one of four quadrants: urgent and important, not important but urgent, not urgent but important, and not urgent and not important. As interruptions pop up, take a minute to assess each one individually. If it's urgent and important, it's probably something you should go ahead and do as soon as possible. If it's urgent but not important, you can delegate it. Now, if you're a solopreneur or small business owner like me who doesn't have a VA, doesn't have anybody to delegate tasks to, these urgent but not important tasks often become do it soon or do it by the end of the day or within the next few days kind of tasks. If it's important but not urgent, you can schedule it. And if it's not urgent and not important, don't do it at all. One of the most important strategies in learning how to manage interruptions effectively is to manage your mindset around interruptions. If you followed me for any length of time, you've probably heard me say more than once that time management is mind management. And naturally, that philosophy applies to interruptions as well. If you tend to get sidetracked frequently by interruptions, one of the best things you can do is to start noticing your thinking and feeling in those moments when you get interrupted. For example, do you think you need to address someone's routine request immediately to make them happy or because you want them to like you? Are you worried that you won't be able to stop thinking about the issue until you go ahead and take care of it? Do you think that you maybe can't trust yourself to take care of the issue later on, and so you feel like you have to do it now? Or maybe you're even struggling with the task at hand and you're kind of using that interruption as a distraction or a way to procrastinate from doing the tough, taxing work that you have in front of you. Understanding the reasons that you tend to give into interruptions from a cognitive and emotional standpoint will go a long way toward helping you to manage them more effectively so that you can ultimately get more important stuff done in your business. Another way that mindset often plays into interruptions is in how you respond to them. Do a little self assessment and ask yourself, when I get interrupted, do I tend to feel angry? Am I frustrated? Do I find it easy to get back to work, or does the interruption completely ruin my concentration? If part of my day doesn't go as planned because I got interrupted, do I allow that to ruin the rest of my day or even the rest of my week? As you answer these questions, you might be tempted to think to yourself, well, that's just the way I am. It might be the way you are right now, but every single one of those issues is a mindset issue, and it is possible and impactful to change every one of them. I help my clients do it all the time. Another great way to manage interruptions in your business is to notice what's going on with your time, your schedule, and your business at large, and make changes and adjustments as needed. The first step to making changes and adjustments with regard to mitigating interruptions is to just notice what's going on. So, for example, do you have an employee who routinely asks the same questions about the same task? Or maybe you have a client who checks in really frequently because they want to know where progress is at and they want really detailed information on next steps. Or maybe your phone is always blowing up because you have a group text with colleagues or family or friends. So, number one, notice the things that repeatedly interrupt you, the people that repeatedly interrupt you. Once you have a good idea of who and what tends to interrupt you the most, start working to understand why those interruptions keep happening. So let's take, for example, the employee who keeps asking similar questions about the same task. Does that person need a process documented? Are they lacking confidence and they're looking for some reassurance from you? Maybe they just want you to solve the problem for them in the moment. Try to figure out what they're thinking and feeling that's leading them to ask those same questions. And then what are you thinking, feeling, and doing to encourage that behavior to occur over and over? Once you understand why a repeated interruption keeps occurring, you have an opportunity to make changes and adjustments to nip it in the bud in the future. So let's take again, for example, the employee who asked the same questions about the same task. How can you preempt that employee's request? Can you document a processing in writing via audio or video? Would it be helpful for you to have a discussion with them about trust and autonomy in your working relationship? Do you need to convey to them that you've entrusted them with getting the task done using their own skills and resources so that you can work on other things? Or do you need to have a weekly meeting with that person to set expectations and answer questions? You can see how analyzing repeated interruptions, finding the root issue and addressing it can greatly reduce your interruptions and greatly improve your ability to manage your time more effectively. To recap, here are 5 solutions for how to manage interruptions more effectively as a small business owner or solopreneur. First, create a plan to anticipate and mitigate interruptions. Next, establish boundaries and expectations with others around your time and attention. Third, assess and make decisions on individual interruptions as they occur. Fourth, manage your mindset around interruptions. And fifth, make changes and adjustments as needed. I understand how daunting it can be to try to implement these changes on your own. But guess what? These are the things that I help my clients do every single day. If you'd like some help implementing these strategies, visit my website and click on Work with Me in the main menu. Schedule a call and let's talk. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Amy Shield, time management and productivity coach, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye-bye.